Hello everybody, it's Dr. Adana, and in this series we are going to talk all about mental health. You are going to be getting 5 videos from me. Video number 1 is going to be on food. Video number 2 is going to be on sleep. Video number 3 is going to be on exercise. Video number 4 is going to be all about vitamin D and different hormone balancing. And video number 5 is going to talk all about chiropractic. Now, these are not the only 5 things, but these are 5 super important things to focus on if you are looking to balance out your mental emotional health. A lot of times when we think mental emotional health, we think, oh, it must just be up here. But no. There are a lot of things both internally and externally that can influence that. So let's get started. Number 1, let's talk food. This one is near and dear to my heart, and let me explain why. Back in 2013, I was having some weird digestive things, and I kind of felt a little off with my mood, but it was mostly digestive. I just knew something wasn't right. I'd of course been taking care of myself chiropractically. I kind of had changed some things dietarily, but I didn't really know where to go. So in talking to one of my mentors, he suggested I talk to Dr. Jessica, who's my nutritional coach and my go-to. And so I got on the phone with her and she was like, you know what, Donna, I really think we need to go paleo. So let's try paleo for about 30 days. Cool. Did paleo, felt really, really good. And then it was July and we went to New York. And as if I eat like this on a regular basis, I ate bagels and pizza because, the bagels in New York are just so much better. They're really not. And so whatever, I just kept kind of eating. We came back and I clearly remember I had a call scheduled that Monday. Well, I was driving in on that Monday morning and out of nowhere I started bawling. So I'm in the car, kind of look around I look like a nut job. What is happening to me? I felt like, I don't know what this is like, but I kind of felt like what a drug addict might feel like coming off of a drug, or my mood was all over the place. I kept crashing. I was getting really anxious. I was down. Now, these are little things that I had been feeling all this time, but I never ever really felt it all together like this. So I got on the phone with her and I was like, what is happening to me? I need you to help me out. And she just laughed and I was like, I'm not sure I appreciate your response. And she was like, what happened this past week? Because you were doing fine. You were on paleo. What happened? And I was like, well, we went to New York and I kind of cheated and ate a bunch of stuff. And she was like, I told you not to eat that crap. And I was like, what do you mean? My digestion's off, sure, but what does that have to do with anything else? And she was like, well, gluten, ding, 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 which is a lot of what I ate, which is a beautiful, not beautiful at all. It's the ugliest little protein in wheat. She said gluten actually affects serotonin in the brain. What? What do you mean? Well, what ends up happening is if you eat gluten and you've got an issue, like I did, underlying, serotonin starts to do this. Well, we all know that serotonin is our beautiful happy chemical. So it's no wonder 1 minute I would feel super anxious, 1 minute I'd feel super down, 1 minute I'd feel super angry, 1 minute I'd be crying my eyes out, and the next minute I'd be fine. That's not normal, ever. So if a part of you feels like you can relate to that, try it, guys. Try to have a cleaner diet, because I don't care if you have a celiac diagnosis, if you're gluten intolerant, if you have an allergy, it doesn't matter. All in all, you will feel so much better if you cut that crappy chemical out of your diet, because gluten, unfortunately, nowadays is not, we're not eating whole wheat like it's meant to be. It's processed, it's sprayed, it's chemically, it's junky, and it's wrecking your system. Mental emotional health is one part of it. I could probably do an entire lecture on just gluten alone, but get rid of it. Number 2 food, because I'm going to talk about 5 different foods, is sugar. Ding, ding, ding. Yes, sugar in any and all forms. So gluten is usually number 1 for me. Sugar is the second. Even if I have clean sugars. A couple weeks ago was my birthday, and I had a lot of treats. Now, the majority of them were paleo. Most of them, all of them, were gluten-free. But it was still sugar. Like I had Rice Krispies and a gluten-free donut and cake and ice cream and all of the above. By the end of that like week and a half, I could feel myself getting a little more tense. So be very conscious of your sugars, whether they're good sugars, real sugars, or even worse, artificial sugars. You might want to be careful and be very, very aware of what's happening if you're eating a lot of them. Now, the artificial sugars, please just eliminate from your diet 1,000%, because they are neurotoxins, just like artificial colors are, which are number 3. Artificial colors, like artificial sugars, anything artificial, is a neurotoxin, meaning it is literally killing your brain cells and can mess with so many things, guys. Just anything artificial. Please insert MSG into that category too, which is another neurotoxin, which can cause a whole host of things for your health. But if you have something with red 40 or blue number 1 or yellow number 6, first of all, you don't keep that stuff in your pantry. Second of all, no cookbook or recipe you've ever opened up has asked you to add that. And third of all, it's garbage. It's pure garbage. And you as an adult, it's going to give you bad reactions, but I want you to really think about this one for the artificial sugar. You know, the aspartame, the sweet and lows, all that junky blue, pink, yellow, whatever color sugar lays around. Toss it in the trash. Seriously, every time I go somewhere and they have that, I just secretly want to throw it all away. But be very aware of this for your kids. I have a friend who had some gummies at their house, and he was like, oh, I got these because they say that they have vitamin C in them. And I was like, let me see that label. And I turned it around, and these gummies on the front have all these vitamins, and on the back have all these artificial sugars. So not only are they excitatory, so your kids are going to be like this in a minute after they eat them, but they're just really bad for their systems. So a lot of kids' things that have colors on them are really, really bad. So please, please, please don't just fall for whatever it says on the front of the label. Turn it around and check it out. Number 4 are oils. So oils, canola, cottonseed, peanut, soy, those are not meant to be really consumed like we consume them. Oils that we should be having are coconut oils, brain octane, butter, ghee, olive oil, avocado oil, and then depending on if you're heating them at high temperatures or not, then we're going to talk about which ones to use. Like olive, we want to keep at a pretty low cooking temperature. If you're making some stir fry, you want to toss it on there, great. If not, just have it in your salads. The rest of the oils are just going to wreck our gut because most of them are just junky, really, really chemically, and they're not real. What is a canola? Answer that question for me. So stop using those oils because they get into your gut. They start to destroy your gut. And if you remember, we have a massive gut-brain lining. So if the gut becomes destroyed, it's going to start to destroy all of those chemicals in our brain as well. We must have stability between the two. And lastly, it's caffeine. I know, Dr. Donna, all you ever talk about is bulletproof and your fasting and your coffee. What do you mean caffeine? I didn't say good caffeine, I just said caffeine. So I drink bulletproof coffee every single day. I've been intermittent fasting for over a year now, but I choose my beans, my coffee beans, very, very wisely. Coffee is probably one of the number 1 most sprayed items, so it's very, very crappy at times, and that's the reason why you can feel jittery, your stomach hurts, your digestion's off. But I'm not just talking about bad coffee, guys. So if your coffee diet consists of Starbucks and, God forbid, like 7-Eleven or Dunkin' Donuts or, whatever. You might not be a fan of me saying all of this, but it's the truth. If that's what it consists of, you got to shake it up. But more so, it's all of the other crap that has caffeine in it too. Your Monsters, your Bulletproofs, whatever added drink there is, because those have a whole host of everything. Bad sugars, artificial colors, terrible chemical caffeine, and that just becomes horrendous for your system. And that takes you super, super high and then brings you super, super low. If it's not the sugar crash that's coming, it's whatever's coming from that caffeine crash. So 5 foods you want to avoid or look into or eliminate or play around with: gluten, sugar, oils, artificial colors, and caffeine. I hope this tidbit helps. If you have any questions, let me know. And here comes video number 2.